Hey guys, and thank you for tuning in. Welcome to Let Your Shit Out with Jon and
Cyn. It's hot as shit.
Hey guys, and welcome to Let Your Shit Out by Jonathan and Cyn, where our guests come on and let their day or their week go and have some fun and learn something or not learn something. So today we are going to be having a special guest, Lil Barcaski. She is the Vice President of Longbar Creative Solutions. Other than that, let's get started with our shit of the day. How about that?
What kind of shit do we have?
Well, today I just heard on the news that somebody punched Rick Moranis on the street, just walking down the street on the Upper West Side. I mean, who wants to punch Rick Moranis?
Okay.
You know?
People are crazy, but in the middle of a pandemic, people are being just mean. They need to be nice.
Yeah, but just like, okay, number one, Rick Moranis is like, honey, I shrunk your kids, and
No.
you know, so I'm like,
Hit him.
who wants to hit him? It's like, oh, you look weird, bam, you know?
You're a real man. You can hit a little man.
And then just kept walking, like it was just gone down the street. Yeah. Oh, and there was another interesting happened. NASA is ready to send a $23 million toilet into space that better accommodates women.
Dude, I heard this whole story. I didn't even think about it until I heard the story. Did you hear why? Apparently, the current space toilet only accommodated one bodily function at a time, front or back. And women normally do both at the same time. So I can see where that might be a bit of a problem.
Okay, well, I mean, I thought it was because they like attached a hose to the guy.
No, I was listening to the female astronaut. I was on NPR or something, and she was talking about how she gets to be the first female to go try out this new toilet. I'm like, big deal. And then she started saying why, that how hard it was for women to go to the bathroom because they go in to go pee and then accidentally crap themselves in no gravity, so there's shit floating everywhere. They're letting their shit out everywhere.
Yeah. So I mean, so this is like, was this like a trial and error test run? You think that the lady was just sitting there and then all of a sudden it just was like, I mean, like, did they have like test goggles on her? Or
I think they had to wrap them in like a giant plastic bubble. You know those ones kids get in and they can like run around in the yards in? And test it in there. So if the no gravity poop goes flying, it's self-contained in the bubble of poop. It was so funny. She's talking about the whole thing like, well, you know, like a regular toilet is, you know, when you sit on it, it's gravity. What you do, it just falls. Well, there's no gravity in space, so it just goes wherever. Yeah. So she said, I feel very proud to be the first female to test the toilet. I can go both number 1 and number 2 on at the same time. Okay, so my question for you is this. Who's the first astronaut that actually shit themselves in the bubble because they didn't know if you peed and shit at the same time as a woman, the hole wasn't big enough to collect all of it?
You know, this would be a good, like, Jeopardy question.
Who's the first woman to shit herself in space? Okay, so I just have a question. If everything's gravity fed, and this is really gross, and Kate, you can cut this if you want.
Oh. Hello? Oh, no, I'm not busy. I'm just editing Let Your Shit Out. Yeah, I have time. I don't think they're going to say anything super gross.
Then how do they have their period? Because that's sort of gravity, too.
I thought about
like,
that myself.
Does it just, like, bubble away from them if they're getting undressed and started? I mean, I got to think about these things. If they have a toilet and the toilet's not sucked, it doesn't suck it down. He said that wouldn't work. It's fans at the top that blow everything into the hole. So if the hole's not big enough, it doesn't cover both front and back. It just blows everything out. I learned way too much about space.
And do they have to wear a seatbelt to sit on the or does
Actually, I think the toilet straps to them.
Oh, okay.
And like they had to modify the first one because it was for men and it was a hole, like you put the thing in and you pee. Women don't do that.
Kind of like.
So then they had to make the hole bigger and like a little, so you could pee in that, but it doesn't. There's the butt. So you start
That'll
feeding
probably
her, oh God, I gotta go.
that would probably make a lot of men really uncomfortable hearing that they had to make the hole bigger for women for them to stick it in.
Sucks to be you, dude.
Sucks to be you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you know how much longer we've got on there to wait for our guest that's coming today?
3 minutes. She is 3 minutes.
All right. Let's talk about who has been posting on our page and which one we think is the best. And I want to inform you of the one that I've picked, and I want your reaction. Are you ready?
All right, go.
All right. So this week's Let Your Shit Out by Rosanna Sloan, of course,
She's like
says,
superstar.
yes, she really is. Goes, I want a closed casket funeral. However, towards the end of the service, please have the organist play Pop Goes the Weasel over and over until everyone in the attendance is staring at my coffin with mute, horrified anticipation.
She is so wrong. Very wrong. That's funny as shit, though. Can you imagine? Like,
It's like, go rest high, and then it's...
Yeah, but see, the problem is right now, nobody would be staring at the coffin because it's COVID and there's no funerals.
Well, no, it'd just be like in the movie with The Ring, like, you know, where like everybody's watching the same video of this, and you're going like, oh God, it's going to come for me.
Brainwashed.
Right.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
She's a riot. Look who's here.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
She's in a very
Good.
dark cave.
No,
Very
it's not that
dark.
bad.
We were telling everyone earlier that we were bringing on Lil Barcaski from Longbar Creative Solutions. And we have a couple of questions for you today. You've already answered how you're doing, so that's good.
Did I get it right? Or
Yeah, one of the first ones was, how did you begin to help people with building their business and their brands? How did this all come about?
I went at it completely ass backwards. So, okay, so when I was a kid, I actually had a kind of a help do it yourself kind of company. People asked us to do stuff, and whether we knew how to do it or not, we do it. So, for example, a guy asked us if we could side his garage, and we did not know actually how to side anything, but we kind of did. He brought along a brake. I didn't know what that meant until he brought one over, and we sided the guy's garage. The only problem was the entire garage was filled with termites. Our answer to that was to take a hammer to the side of the garage and knock the termites loose, and then just put siding over it. So my guess is in Richfield Park, there's a garage. There's nothing but siding because all the wood it's just holding being held up by siding. Then we stained the guy's porch, and I knocked the entire can of stain over myself. At which time I went to the garage across the street and poured gasoline over myself to get the stain off. That seemed like a good idea.
No smoking.
No,
Yeah.
well, thankfully I didn't smoke. I went home to my mother, and she said, "What the hell's going on?" Showered, the whole shower stunk of gasoline. So basically, I did what I was doing most of my life. And then I got to working in food and beverage because, you know, I'm an actor. For an actor, you wait tables. So I started working in restaurants. And then, bizarrely and sadly, my mother passed away very young and left me a few bucks. And I opened a restaurant and named it after her. So the point of all this bullshit is I learned whatever needed to be learned. The absolute hardest possible way you could learn anything. And so I've come to the realization after, you know, 30 some odd years doing it, that, you know, you get it. You just sort of get it. So when somebody asks me to help them start a new business or figure out what's wrong with their business, some sort of laser beam comes into my brain and tells me exactly what they should do. And if they do it, they generally work out pretty good. And
that's divine intervention right there.
Divine intervention. I always, it doesn't matter whether I believe in God or not, because God believes in me. So
there you go.
clearly that is what's happened. Does that answer that question in the worst possible way?
Not at all. I loved it. Also, I wanted to know, how important is it for these people to utilize the services that Longbar offers?
Well, they can either fail or succeed. So,
Just that's one way to put it.
if you want to succeed, give us a call. If you want to fail, trug along the way I did for many, many years until I figured it out the hard way.
And so you did mention about being a chef. While you were cooking during the pandemic, did you start out with like elaborate meals and then fall off to like a bologna sandwich, or did you stay consistent?
It comes and goes, John. It comes and goes. I have discovered Uber Eats. I've discovered DoorDash. I do try to cook a nice meal. I made a beautiful salad today with all kinds of vegetables and fruit and raspberry light vinaigrette. And tonight we're going to eat leftover Burger King because that's what's
You know,
going
you
right,
got,
as you would like to say, in the shitter. Today, so the meals are going, I don't know, maybe a pizza. I mean,
we'll see, right?
we'll see.
I did have one more question of like ghost writing.
Oh.
What exactly, yeah, does that entail of? And how does it feel whenever the published work is out there and your name's not on it?
I get that question practically on the daily. The checks take away the pain. As
I
I'm
think that
putting the money in the bank. But yeah, it does get wearing. What is sometimes wearing is when you write a book. I write books for people where they basically don't write a word, but they put their name on it, not mine. I write books with people where they write almost nothing, but they maybe have their input or they've got an idea, and I put my name on it. Under theirs, typically speaking, you'll say with or just my name. And that feels a little better, and I get a percentage of those books. I get a piece of the pie plus getting paid. And then there's books like I wrote with Ziz. And the book Ziz and I really bounce back and forth. So we're 50-50 on that. That's him and I. We wrote that together. You know what I mean? We're going to write next books together. So it feels better when it's, half mine, half somebody else's. But yeah, sometimes you look at a book and you go, well, damn, what felt worse is my ex-business partner. Sometimes he would put his name in instead of mine after I wrote the book, and he'd do nothing at all. That was painful. Like he'd have his name, the editor, or he'd have his name as with his name on it, and knowing full well that he hadn't written one word of that book, and mine doesn't appear at all. That hurt a little bit. My lie, that kind of hurt.
If you met somebody, a business person, tomorrow at an event, and they said you have 5 seconds to tell me what you do, and you're not giving them a smart-ass answer, because I see that that's your ability as well, what would you say to them?
I am in business development. I take businesses and make them real.
As opposed to fake? Like fake news?
Mm-hmm. As opposed to fake. I am in the business of business success.
What's your least favorite part and your most favorite part of your job?
My least favorite part is the part that I don't ever have to do, which is billing people and writing contracts and doing all the paperwork. I suck paperwork and minutia. Did I say suck enough? I'm terrible at minutia. I'm a big picture, long-term, long-thinking person. What I like the most is the psychology of it. I like looking at a person and saying, here's what's wrong, which is why my business club online is called Business Impossible Club. Join that. It's on Facebook. I started that because being an old chef and all that, I'm very, very big fan of Robert Irvine, the Restaurant Impossible chef. And he always goes into restaurants and you realize it's never the food. If it were the food, IHOP and Denny's would have closed a long time ago because they suck big time. But they're stuck consistently. You're not going to worry. You're not going to wonder what kind of pancakes you're going to get at IHOP. They're always going to be the same in Michigan or in Chicago.
Same shitty pancakes everywhere.
Yeah, forming shitty pancakes all over the world. It's never the food, but it's always the people. So if you've got a problem with yourself, you don't know who you are, you don't know why you're even doing the damn thing you're doing. I was working on the Accelerate book, and I one of the quotes I pulled from the book was never do something for somebody else in terms of what you want for your life. Don't let somebody else tell you what your dreams are. Don't follow. Parents are going to say, oh, if my father's dream with me to be a veterinarian, does he want to be a veterinarian? He loved that idea. It wasn't even he loved animals so much. He just thought it'd be cool to be a doctor, and he wanted to be a doctor. He loved the idea that he could maybe make animals feel better. And I could never do that. I suck. That's not me. I followed his dreams or my mom's dreams. I might have been a teacher. I love getting people to understand that. And sometimes they're just in the wrong damn business. We had a young lady who tried to be a podcaster. Frankly, she sucked ass. I mean, and she at one point said to me, I never watch my podcast. Well, of course she doesn't watch them. I wouldn't watch them either. They're boring. If you're not meant to be a podcaster, don't effing be a podcaster. Somebody said you're pretty or you look on camera. Some people, Kate's one of the best actresses you'll ever meet. Our producer. Don't want to act, hates it.
Come on, Nick. Rake up those leaves.
Why can't you just do something productive, like be an actor?
Because I don't want to, Mickey. Now rake the leaves. They're not going to get up on their own.
Right, now to rake the whole yard.
That's right. Now get Mommy a Mai Tai. ASAP.
don't do it. You know what I mean? But if you are doing something because somebody told you you should be an accountant or something, you're probably gonna fail. Fail miserably. If you don't know what the hell you're selling or why you're selling it, no matter what you have, you can have the greatest logo in the world. No one's buying it. No one's buying your shit. It's simple.
No one's buying your shit.
Ain't nobody buying your shit.
Your shit is shit.
No shit is no good.
I just have one more question for you.
Yeah.
You remember sea monkeys, right?
Sea monkeys, like the little things you put the water in and they.
There's the water in, yeah. Would you want to be a sea monkey in the jar in a little girl's house in the Hamptons, or would you want to be a sea monkey in a little girl's jar in the Swiss Alps named Helga?
What's the girl's name in the Hamptons?
Trixie.
Yeah, Trixie.
Does she live all the time in the Hamptons, or is this one of these weekend things?
It's one of those summer things.
So what happens to me in the winter when she's gone? Do somebody feed me? Am I
I actually didn't research how long a sea monkey lives. So
I'm gonna live a long time. I'm a sea monkey. I'll plan to stick around.
I mean, you could be in a helicopter, or somebody could be carrying you. I'm not sure what happened.
It could just depend on what aquarium she's from.
Well, here's the thing. As a sea monkey, I feel strongly that I would rather be in warm water than cold water. Let's start with that. Also, I'd much rather be in the Hamptons than in the freaking Alps. So I don't ski. I'd rather be near water. So overall, I'm going to go with the Hamptons, so long as this little, biatch takes care of me, and I don't, I don't know what sea monkeys eat, but I would hope that they would feed me because I'm kind of fat, and I want to.
I want to be a seahorse. Actually, technically, mermaid.
Of course.
Mermaid.
Yeah. Do the sea monkeys eat anything? No.
I don't know.
These are shrimp. They eat the crap on the bottom of the ocean. They're garbage eaters.
Seahorse. We're getting very confused.
Very confused.
We're deep into the shit.
Well, we will have to come back on here later and figure out what a sea monkey is exactly. So, Lil, can you tell us how to reach you guys?
Yes, we are at longbarcreatives.com. Everything's on there. All kinds of stuff about who we are, what we do, how to get a hold of us, how to contact us is all on there. And you can find me on Facebook. Facebook me because I'm going to be doing a Facebook Live every Thursday at 3 o'clock. We're doing Longbar Live with Lil, and we're going to talk about branding and marketing and messaging and writing and ghostwriting and all that good stuff for about a half an hour on the Longbar Creative Solutions page.
Well, Lil, we want to thank you and Longbar for being on here and being our sponsors, and we will hopefully talk to you soon.
Nice to be here. Thank you.
I want to thank Lil from Longbar Creatives for joining us today. And if you're interested in sponsoring Let Your Shit Out and getting your word out, or just getting the shit out there to everybody, contact us at letyourshitoutwebsite.com. If you would like to get on Let Your Shit Out or have a name mentioned or name drop, then go to our Facebook page, Let Your Shit Out, and let your shit out and let us read it, and we will look at it and decipher it. All very professional.
You'll get your shout out and your mention and all of the good stuff.
Yep. And if you'd like to be a guest on the show, just drop us a note.
All you got to do is go to letyourshitout.com, and there's a way to come on as a guest. Today is the day.
We are officially
this shit started. Hey guys, and welcome to Let Your Shit Out. I'm your host, Jon, and this is Cyn. Today, wait, I'm gonna do that again, I'm sorry. Hey guys, and welcome to Let Your Shit Out. Hey guys, and welcome to Let Your Shit Out. Today, motherfucker, what is...
From the top. Take 4.
Now rake those leaves.
Ah! These leaves!
And get mommy a Mai Tai.
This
ASAP. Yeah, you too. You too.